Incredible greetings, everyone. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I am Shakia, the professor of HSINK365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products, along with Silaholics Anonymous, where I teach you guys how to use Studio, to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of ways. We also do that with our Academy, 365 Creative Academy. And I teach via my designing via Silhouette Studio and now Photoshop. And more recently, we have a new platform that is going to be completely focused on more so the business side and taking things up a little bit and taking it up a notch and a little bit more on the serious side or business side of garment decorating, or just anything for apparel and fabrics, and applying those such as DTF, DTG, eco solvent, screen print transfers. We're going to go over all of that and more over on the Ink Zone. So if you're watching me on any of our other platforms, make sure that you go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Ink Zone, because that is where I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty of it all. Some beginner stuff, but it's really for those who are somewhat past that beginner stage, but you really need that information on how to set up your files. You want to know more information and about transfers and using them and how they can be beneficial to your business. Make sure that you go over to the Ink Zone and subscribe over there. In this broadcast, I am going to go over gang sheets and how to set them up in both Silhouette Studio as well as Photoshop. For Silhouette Studio, you will need Business Edition in order to properly set this up, because you will need to be able to save as a PDF file. I'll explain why a PDF file versus a PNG file when we get into Silhouette Studio. Now, some places may let you submit that PDF file and they will convert it over, and because they'll just take it into Photoshop. You're going to see how easy that is to just save it as a PNG in Photoshop. So I know of a couple of companies that will accept the PDF, but for others, they require it to already come to them in PNG format. So you may need to also have Photoshop or have someone that you can send it to and for them to convert it over into or save it as a PNG. It's really just 2 clicks. So if you have a friend that has Photoshop, you have an accountability partner, you don't have to worry about going to get Photoshop right away. You can just simply send them your PDF file, and they can easily go and export that as a PNG, send it back to you so that you can submit it to the companies that you are ordering your DTF prints from. All right. Okay, so we're going to come over here and alrighty, there we go. That is our website, shop.hsink365.com. If you're interested in getting more information about our upcoming classes, we have a full-on academy that's going to be dedicated to the garment decorating business or building your brand. If you're trying to do branded shirts, if you just want to know how to, the best ways as far as doing custom shirts, and you are past that crafter stage or hobbyist stage, and you are really ready to understand how to set your business up, we do have a academy training that's coming up for that. So it'll be a subscription-based thing, so you'll get continual training on that. So let's go ahead and head over to Silhouette Studio. So the first thing that I want to do is explain or just show how your files can come in and how that's going to affect your sizing. If you have ever gone and, set up a gang sheet, to submit to to a company, and they come back and say that, you know, the images are they're blurry, or you get it back and the sizes are not correct, it's probably because of how your file was originally set up. In this video, we are going to work from a pre-designed PNG. So there won't be a lot of like tracing or like setting it up. This is not a file that I created myself. A client submitted it to me and they wanted me to go ahead and set up this game sheet for them, and they purchased the file. So I want to just kind of go over how this PNG file came in and ways that you can correct it in both Silhouette Studio as well as Photoshop. Now, I had actually already gone into Photoshop, and you're going to see about how to do that as far as trimming away the edges so that you get the exact size of the image. Now, this is the one that I had already taken into Photoshop, and I trimmed away the transparent pixels, so it came in at this size. This is how the original PNG from the shop that she got it from, this is how it was inside the file that she had. So when she downloaded it, it looked just like this. And this can be a really, really big problem because most people don't think to make it where it's right to the size of the design. So all of this area here is negative space. This is why it is important to understand how you're supposed to set up your file, whether you are setting it up in Photoshop or Canva or Silhouette Studio, wherever you're setting it up at, how you set that original file up and how you save it is so important. Now, there'll be more videos on that over on the Ink Zone, or you can always enroll in our Essentials to Photoshop because we discussed that in one of the training sessions as well. But over here, what you can do, so you see, if you double click, you see where these 4 dots are. It's because of all that negative space. But if we double click on this one, the 4 dots are really close. And then also, even though these were from the same file when they opened up, the actual design part is really, really small. Okay. We can always take this, and I'm going to make it as big as this one over here is. Okay, so that's about the same size. But when you're looking at this, this says that it is 10 inches in height and 10 inches wide. But that design is nowhere near being 10 inches. It's because of all of the negative space. So you have to remove that negative space. One of the ways that you can do that is by doing a trace and detach. For this, I don't really recommend doing the trace and detach because you're going to end up with a lot of loose pieces. You have to group them back together. For things like this, when it's already a PNG, all you really want to do is crop it down to the exact size that it needs to be. So what I've done over here is made a rectangle. Where is my, let's zoom out. Okay, so we're going to come here. So we have these up here. I'll explain what those are in a minute. So here's our really big file. So I'm going to go over to the left-hand side, grab my rectangle tool, and it doesn't really matter about like the width and things like that. You just want to kind of have a general like size as far as like height and width. Actually, you know what? Let's not even worry about, we're going to come back to this one because that's about sizing it up for the actual prints. So over here, I'm just going to kind of zoom in. I'm going to still come over here to the drawing tool, and I need to make a box around this. Here is where having Designer Edition or Business Edition does come in handy. If you've never used the crosshairs, I'm about to show you a way where it becomes beneficial to you. So I'm just going to hit H on my, I'm going to hit H on my keyboard. It's going to give me my crosshairs. So what I'm going to use this for, let's delete that, is I'm going to use that to find the edge on the left, the right, the top, and the bottom. So I know where I'm making my box because this is, the top of it is more inset than the word nobody. trying to find and get into the edge, you'll end up having to do a lot of like back and forth. But with your crosshairs on, I can go to my rectangle. I'm going to bring my crosshairs to where the top one is at, that cross line is at the top of the design, and the one on the side, the one going vertical is on the left side of design. I'm going to click and drag. And again, I'm looking at those crosshairs and I want to bring it to the other side of the Y and right to the bottom of autism awareness. So I didn't have to do too much like going back in and making additional adjustments. I now have this box right around the design. And I am going to still zoom in to make sure that I'm not going to cut anything off, because I think my Y might be off a little bit. But I'm just going to hit H on my keyboard, and you see now my crosshairs goes away. So we're just going to zoom in. Actually, I'm pretty good on that side, pretty good. So it's not going to be like exact, but that's fine. So now we're going to drag and select both the box that we created as well as the original PNG, come over to modify, and then crop. Okay. Once we crop it, you now have what the true size is. So instead of it being 10 by 10 and some change, it's actually only 5.170, give or take, by 3.774. So now that I have this cropped down, I'm going to use this to size up my design. So all I really needed, like, I'm going to just start from the beginning. So I'm going to go here and I'm just going to make a box. You can make a box or a line. I just kind of like doing the box. And it's going to be based off of the size that you want your design to be. Because this is a narrow design, I was going to do the live video, but I started to record it. It's going to be a part of a different series, how to know like how to properly size your images. So for the first shirt, it's like a 3X. So I'm going to bring this down to about 15. All right. So just need this around about. You can even go at the top and type it in, but I'm just going to kind of drag it to around about 15 inches. I'm going to click here, or you can actually even click this one and just change it to 15 because we'll do it that way. I'm kind of weird. Like I like to kind of size it, but you can do it that way also, where you would just lock it in place and then you would make your height 15. Let's just do it. Oh, see, this is another reason why. So there's a glitch with this one. I completely forget about this. And this is one of the reasons why I do it this way, because you never know which version you're using of Silhouette Studio and which glitches it's going to have. So I'd rather do it this way. So I'm going to click on here and I'm just going to drag this until the bottom and top of the design touches the top and bottom of that line. So I know that I'm going to be in that 15-inch range. I mean, you can definitely pull it up and down and just look at the numbers, but I like to have like my templates in place for certain size shirts. And I have some things and some resources that are going to come out for how to properly size shirts. And you'll have these boxes and just be able to size them. So now I have my first one, and then we're going to size it to this one. Okay. I'm going to make another duplicate. And if you would like to know how I am creating duplicates without clicking or right-clicking on the screen, be sure to enroll in our 30-day Essentials to Silhouette Studio training, where I go over a lot of the key and essential keyboard shortcuts. I even give you a full list, or I give you the list and it's highlighted with all of my go-to keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so now that I have all of my images sized based off of the size I need them for different shirts, I'm going to go ahead and set up my design page. So you want your design page set up to whatever size your, like whatever company you're going with, whatever they tell you like their max sizes is. So like for some of them, if you're going through like 613 Originals or Stahl's Color Print Max or FM Expressions has them. They may have a sheet that's like a 22 by 24. Some places may have a 22 by 36. That's what Florida Flex used to do. You have some places that will let you do a continuous print. I know from I Love It Customs, she has a price list and it's based off of however many inches you actually need. So some companies, you will have to set up individual sheets and whatever you can fit on those size sheets that they say that, you know, that they offer. And for others, you can just do a continuous run. So for this one, I am going to set up as a continuous run because of where the client is ordering them from. They can do it as a continuous run. So we want to come over here to the right-hand side, go up to your page setup. For a machine, you want to select none because we're not using any type of machine for this. It's going to automatically default your cutting mat to none. Then we just want to come down here to width and height. So I'm going to go 22 inches, and then I'm just going to go, because I already kind of know this one. So I'm just going to go to 100 and I think it's 7 is what I need for that one. Okay. Now, if you don't know yours off the top, that's fine. You can always set your image up. You know what? Let's do it that way. So I'm going to do the 22. I'm just going to leave this at 12. All right. I want to do the 22 so I'll know, you know, how many I can do going sideways. So we're going to take this one and place it right here. I'm going to take this one and place it here. Let's see. Can I do 2 of these side by side? So I actually could do 2 of these side by side as well. And it might make it to where, no, I can't. It's going to be a little bit too close for comfort at this particular size. So you can either resize it or just use one of the others. So we're just going to bring this down to here. And for this one, I needed, let me just go verify again. I've already sent this to her, but I just want to make sure I'm doing it based off of, okay, I did it right. So actually, no. So that was 3 for that one. So I'm actually missing one more. So I'm just going to resize this a little bit. So let's take this to, let me see, this one was what, 15. So let's just take this one to 13. Okay, so about there. All right. Now what I'm going to do is click here, and I want to make my duplicates of this. So we're just going to go, I need 3 of those. And I can probably put this one because this is the one that, oh, this was actually 12. So I could have used that one. So this one, it was, I believe, 6. So six, if I'm not mistaken. 6, 7, 8. And then 9, 10. I know it's one of these. 11. I think it's 2 of these, 11, 12, 13. Let's just say 14, 15, 16, 17. I want to say it was like 17 total of this one. But however many you need, you'll know exactly how many you need. If you have to rotate them or anything like that, you can set that up however you want. So I'm just kind of giving you a general idea of how you're going to set this up. So once I kind of have these kind of like all in a row, I'm going to select them all, and it's going to give me a number here. So this is saying really about 115.633. So I'm just going to go 115. Okay. I'm going to make sure that this particular one is within that 115. And then I'm going to select everything that's here. We're just going to go ahead and line them and space them. Same thing with this side. we're going to just select them and space them so that you have room to cut it. So once you have your sheet, this is now a gang sheet. It's pretty much ready to go as far as saving it. So we have all of our prints on here. We're going to go over to File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive. Here, the first thing you're going to do for Save As type, you're going to go ahead and do Portable Document Format, so PDF. And we're going to go PNG Live. All right. So hopefully so it doesn't shut down. There we go. It's all set up. So now we're going to go over to Photoshop and we're going to go File, Open. We're going to find that file, which we're going to go over here and actually, let's see, where was that file at? Oh, actually, I can just click on home. So I'm going to go here. It was in downloads. So I'm just going to click on that. So it's going to open up. And yeah, I knew it was going to change it. So it's telling me that this is actually only 21 by 106, which is good. Oh, Lord, 6, all those sixes. But which is good because if you had originally priced it based off of it being 115 inches, and you priced it that way and you kind of gave your client that price, now when you go to order, it's actually only going to be 106 inches because it eliminated all of the extra space that, you know, could have been there. All right. So you're just going to go ahead and hit OK. And that's going to open up. And then you're just going to export it as a PNG. So we're going to do this as a quick an export as a quick PNG. So we're just going to go File, Export, Quick Export as a PNG. Click that. It's going to ask you what you want to save it from Photoshop. And we're just going to go ahead and hit OK. It's saved. It's ready to submit to, you know, whatever company who's doing your DTF prints. All right. So that is the full process on how to do that in Silhouette Studio. Now we're going to take a look at how to do the exact same thing, but over in Photoshop. All right. So the Photoshop image is, nope, not that one. Okay. I'm going to just close this out because I don't really need all of these additional ones. So just going to close that out. No. Okay, I thought I opened it, but I guess I didn't. So I'm just going to go File, Open Recent, and we're just going to open up this PNG. Oh, wait, it is actually showing up here. So let's just close out this one. And then we're going to go Open Recent and open up that PNG. So here you can see how this was set up. And you see all of this extra around it, which is going to affect the size and even affect the quality of it. So we're going to come over here to Image, and then you're going to go Trim. And you just want to trim the transparent pixels. You want to have everything selected, top, left, right, bottom. Hit OK. It's going to go ahead and shrink that down. All right. Now, what I do, now you can either set these up in individual windows or design pages, or you can kind of do it all from one. Now, we know that our gang sheet needs to be, for this particular order, at least 22 inches, right? Now, if someone only does like 11 by 17 or 13 by 19, wherever the sheets are, if it's 11 by 11, anything like that, you'll set it up for that particular sheet. So I'm going to come over here to Image and then Canvas Size. So I'm going to click on that. And I want this to be 22 inches. And for now, we're just going to go 22 because let's say you don't really know how wide you need it. So we're just going to go, I'm just going to go 36. Okay. And we're going to hit OK. Now I need to size this. Right now, this is telling me we're going to go, let's just open up Windows and properties. There we go. I'm just going to hit OK. So this is telling me that this image right here is actually 14.26 by 10. So I can go T and I'm going to hold down Shift. And I'm looking at the width and height. I'm trying to get this to about 15 or so. Boom, right there. So that's the first one for that one. I need to duplicate this. So you're basically just going to duplicate this layer. So you can right click it and choose duplicate layer. You can also use the keyboard shortcut Alt and then click and move. And I'm going to take this one again, hold down Shift. I'm looking at the width and the height. Let's say I wanted this one to be around 12 inches in height. Let's go 12 and a half. All right. We're going to place this one and we're just going to repeat this again. So now I need the one, oops. Oh, might have to hit enter, want to hit enter, Shakia. So we're going to take this one, Control T, or you can go up to the top and then choose free transform. Again, we're going to hold down, I'm going to actually hold down Alt and Shift so it just goes a little bit faster. Let's say this one, I want it to be around like 10. Enter. So I'm just going to kind of stop there, but you would set it up for whatever sizes you need. And then you're going to make your duplicates. Alt, click and move. Click and move. Now, that may scare some people because you don't see it anymore, but you can go up to the top image in the same way that we did trim. We can choose reveal all, and it's going to drop down to wherever the edge of it is. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make this about 10% so I can see more of it. I'm going to take, let's see, these. I'm going to bring this down here. So this one, I know I needed 6 of these. So I'm just going to hold down Alt. I'm going to select those 2, hold down Alt, click, click. So that was the 6 for that. And then it's like, if it gets kind of, you can always, like I said, make it as long as you want. So if I didn't want to kind of keep doing the reveal all, I'm going to go back up to canvas size. And just for the sake of this, I'm just going to say 115, the same way I did in Silhouette Studio, and hit OK. So we're going to select all of these, push them up to the top. And I'm just going to repeat these that's here versus like really worrying about the, how many are there or how many I needed. But you, of course, would set this up based off of how many you actually need. I make that one small because she had like a onesie. And then I'm just going to drag and select everything that is here. We're going to go ahead and center them and distribute evenly. So now they're all spaced like that. And then let's just take this one. Right. Or I can even bring this down where that one is. Oops, I think I cut autism off a little bit there. All right. And if you want to, you can go to image trim. And if there's any transparent pixels, it will basically just adjust those to remove whatever transparent pixels are there. Now, you could set this up, save this as a PNG by following the same steps: file, export, and then do a quick export. But I'll show you if you just do the traditional export as well. So if you go to export as, you're going to get another window that pops up. You're just going to make sure that your format is in fact set to PNG, that your transparency is checked, and then you're just going to hit export. It's going to ask you about saving it, and that's it. You're now ready to submit this to whatever company is doing your DTF prints. So that wraps this up on how to set up your gang sheets for DTF. This also, can apply like if you have a company that's doing sublimation sheets for you, so you can use it for that. But this was specifically for DTF because you really need that transparent factor for those because it prints white. If this was sublimation, because there is no white, you can just set this up with Jpegs. You didn't really have to go through setting it up and having the transparent background and things like that. All right. So hopefully this was helpful and informative for you guys. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to leave them as a comment below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend when you see someone struggling in a group or you see someone that is asking about gang sheets and DTF. Make sure that you go ahead and refer them to this video. Recommend that they go and subscribe to the Ink Zone because we will be talking all things transfers, press on demand, whether it is for customs or if it is for your actual branded line. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.